In this video, I'm going to show you how to access your webinar platform inside the Builderall dashboard so you can set up your own webinar and add it to your website inside your website builder. So I'm going to go to the top left-hand side and I'm going to hit the menu icon. And then I'm going to go down to where it says webinar right here. And this opens up the webinar platform and it enables you to add a new webinar. So right here I've got all my previous webinars and all I need to do is click new webinar and I can name it. I can choose to protect it with a password, and then I'm going to click Create Webinar. And here I can set up the information about a live link, a recorded link. I can put an email signature if I want to. I can protect it with a password, and I can use the date format. I can also choose the type of content that I want to put in. I can do a live webinar. I can stream from YouTube. I can build an iframe. I can upload a webinar from a computer. I can record with a webcam. Or I can go into my previously recorded webinars and play a previously recorded session. I can stream to Builderall Live, and I can choose Europe servers or USA servers. You would choose the ones that are closest to you. And then you can click the streaming tool. You can also schedule your webinar. You can set up chat for your webinar. You can gather statistics for your webinar. You can collect information from your attendees and send that to Mailing Boss. You can do tracking through the webinar, and you can even do translation, meaning you can translate the most common words that are being displayed in your webinar into another language. Once you have all these set up, you just click close, and now our test webinar is ready to go. Anytime you want to go in and edit, you just click the edit button, and it will pull up all that previous information and you can edit it. If you want to get the code to add to your website, you just click that. And it will give you the ID and the secret, which you'll need to add to your website. And if you need to administer your webinar, you can click the A button for administration, give yourself a username, and it will display the webinar, and you'll have control over the comments that are made during the webinar. And if you want to delete the webinar, you just click the X, and that will delete the webinar. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and get the code. To do that, I'm going to click this code button, and I'm going to copy the ID and the secret key into a notepad. And now that I've got that copied, I'm going to jump into my webinar platform and add the webinar to my page. So let's jump back into the HTML editor. Here I am in the HTML editor, and I'm going to go to the page where I have my webinar on. So I'm going to go to the webinar broadcast page, and this is where the webinar is broadcast. And right now it's just a regular YouTube channel, but I'm going to change that to the actual webinar that I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And I'm going to go to Plus and Apps. And here's my webinar app. I'm going to click on that. And that adds the webinar into this particular page. I'm also going to move things down a little bit to make room because that window is just a little bit bigger. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go to Edit. And I need the ID, which I copied to my notepad, and I need the secret key, and I can just paste that right here. And remember, I got that from the webinar area, and then I click Confirm. And now that webinar is actually added into the page. It doesn't look like anything's changed, but I need to click Save, and then name my site, and then Save again. And when this webinar goes live, it will start showing on this page. Now that I've got my webinar added to my webinar broadcast page, I'm going to go ahead and set up my Mailing Boss. So I'll see you in the next video.